Over the past 10 years or so, Donald Trump and Barack Obama have had a rivalry between who's the better president overall. And as we know, Donald Trump keeps bragging of he is the best president the USA has had over the past 100 years, which I personally think is false. If we look at Barack and Trump, I think Barack handles the situation way better. And Trump's childish behavior this past month is very unprofessional. We've seen him at the Pennsylvania doing a speech, recreating iconic memes, right? Just looking very unprofessional and childish, which in Obama's term, we've seen him handle situations way better, way more professionally. And we've seen also at the UFC 250 event, which happened on June 14th, that UFC fighter Josh Hokett had the chance to make a speech and mention that Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife, is a man, which Barack Obama took that personally, and Michelle and Barack got angry, which think about if it was Donald Trump. If Josh Hokett mentioned Melania Trump was a man, I don't think Donald Trump would be very happy about that.
Of course, I mean, you could imagine that Donald Trump would be suing the fighter big time, but when it comes to Barack Obama, they just let it slide, and they let the insults run free basically with the Trump administration. It seems like Donald Trump really has a hatred towards Barack Obama, which it doesn't really make sense considering that in this clip that we'll play in a few seconds, he mentions that Donald Trump never speaks to him in like a mean way when they meet in person. We'll put the clip right now.
But I'm not even worrying about it.
Yeah, well,
I know.
I kind of like it.
I do worry sometimes. I've heard some of the guys talk about changes in the locker room now and how kids are, some of the younger players, instead of just talking or playing some bid whist or something, everybody just like
stuck to your phone
on the phone. Different. The other thing I believe in, and part of what we try to teach in our leadership training is, I believe in face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if this, whoever you were talking about was in front of me, which has happened a couple of times, he don't talk like that. Because he knows better.
It ain't never that.
And I think there is that filter of the phone creates a situation both where people just say kind of crazy stuff that they would never say
with no consequences
to your face with no consequences.
Yeah.
And
Barack Obama basically mentions that Donald Trump knows him better and he would never step out of line if they met in person. Every single interaction that they've met face to face went personally well. And we know behind the scenes when Trump is alone, he keeps on bashing Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, basically saying that they were a shit president, and every single aspect Donald Trump has done better, which I think is very unprofessional. And we've never heard Barack Obama bash Donald Trump like Donald Trump has. And basically this whole thing is unprofessional and a big clown show for Donald Trump's side.
Look, you could imagine Donald Trump just being super pissed, but there's no, like, Donald Trump this whole decade has been this big online bully that just does nothing when it comes to IRL talk.
Yep.
He basically crumbles and becomes like this little guy that doesn't do anything. I mean, clearly Donald Trump is just this guy that seems to be super powerful online, but in person, he's nothing.
Also, Barack Obama in a latest interview mentioned that he lives in Donald Trump's head rent-free. Basically, Donald Trump is always, every single opportunity he gets, mentioning Barack Obama's work, either mentioning that he was bad at it or he was better at it. We'll play the clip right now.
Ass out or sometimes.
I mean, the thing about it is, look, you got to ask him what it is that
The obsession?
The obsession.
I know what it is.
I obviously, have a room in his head.
Rent free. You do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what
somebody said,
or what my predecessor did.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I've got work to do.
You locked in.
It's hard to describe if you're doing the job right.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you got 5-10 things that are real hard, and you have to be constantly focused. The idea that I'd be worrying about
came before
somebody who came before and me trying to measure, like, what's he done today? constantly worrying about that is a strange thing to me. It shows me somebody who's not focused on the American people and the job they're supposed to do.
And we know this whole rivalry has been happening for many years now, and I think it's never going to end. I think as world leaders, they shouldn't be comparing themselves all the time and in a way helping each other instead of comparing each other. If we always compare each other all the time, then how is that going to lead anywhere?
Yeah.
If we look at what Donald Trump has done this past month, he's only been comparing himself to presidents and basically bragging about how he's been the best president for the past 100 years. And that's going to lead nowhere, right? If you keep comparing yourself to other people instead of helping each other, then it's just going to go nowhere.
Yeah, it's not the same. I mean, Donald Trump really views his presidency as a big competition. Like, I was better than George Bush. I was better than Bill Clinton. Like, that's not how the game works. It's supposed to be bettering every single term that they have, right? These presidents are only there for 4 years, or at best 8 years if they're lucky. But in general, Donald Trump should not be viewing this as who's the better man. I mean, either way, Donald Trump was insulting Obama's deal, saying that like they were paying a few $1 billion, and now actually turns out that that the Trump regime will be paying more to Iran than Barack Obama did.
Yeah,
so it defeats the whole point of what Donald Trump was doing. And Donald Trump wants to put Barack Obama in prison. Like, what? In fact, Donald Trump should probably be going in prison for his random ass crimes he's been doing. Starting wars is not normal. I mean, Barack Obama was pretty chill, but Donald Trump is on the next level.
I would also like to see a clip where Donald Trump and Barack Obama is face to face, and Donald Trump is bashing him IRL. Yeah. I think that would be pretty, not only funny, but I think that wouldn't happen because we've seen them face to face, only positivity.
Yeah.
But when it's behind each other's backs, Barack Obama doesn't bash Donald Trump, but Donald Trump does. Not only he bashes Barack Obama, but he also bashes Joe Biden, mentioning that he's sleepy Biden, and Donald Trump would never ever sleep. That's out of his power. He never do that. In the past, a month and a half, 2 months, we've seen him resting his eyes or closing his eyes, which that's just an excuse. We know he's tired. Yeah. Donald Trump doesn't sleep. Marco Rubio, which he knows him personally, says he doesn't sleep at all, which is a problem because he's a world leader. He needs his health to be prioritized so that he can think better, act better, and not be this childish behavior that just goes on interviews, raging off the set, breaking the mic, and closing his eyes during interviews, meetings, and just eating junk food, not caring about his health. Whatever it is, his health has been on a decline. We've seen it. He's not acting well. His mental has been taking a toll also. And we see it. He's always comparing himself to these leaders, which is it's a never ending show.
Yeah. I mean, it's a clear sign that he is actually losing it mentally, because a few days ago he was in Pennsylvania and he mentions that he wants to run again for 2032. Yep. Which he's done this on multiple occasions. He's also mentioned that he wants to take over Canada. All these are like mini jab jokes, but I don't think it is. Donald Trump, I think in his core, really wants to be this super mega powerful guy, but he's just a president. He's not the creator of the world at this point. He's acting like if he's a full-on god, but he shouldn't be doing all this.
Also, Barack Obama did mention that we should not have started this war with Iran. Joe Biden also mentioned it. Kamala Harris also mentioned it. And Donald Trump at the start of his term mentioned that there will be world peace and there will be no wars. What do you know? Donald Trump isn't really a man of his word. Not even a couple months later, war was started. Billions of dollars of taxpayer money was spent. The citizens were tired, stressed, struggling to pay their bills, while the administration was basically laughing behind their backs. Yeah. While people were getting killed, people were stressed. And both from the USA and Iran side of it, and other countries got involved too. It's not just USA and Iran, right? There's other countries in the world that got affected by it. And right now, the current situation, it's not really clear. They're still sending a bit of strikes. Yeah. Money's still being spent. They said a deal is in place, but who knows? This thing could start again in a couple days, right? And we've seen the economy, how it tanked, right? We saw the whole stock market, for example. If you're an investor, you know what I'm talking about. You know when the war started, it was a complete shit show. For name it, Bitcoin, whatever stock you're invested in, or gold, silver, groceries, gas went up 50%. Look at the past 100 years. I don't think gas has ever gone up that much.
No.
So in a short amount of time, like not even a month's time. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
The sad part with the whole Trump administration right now is that they're trying to drive up everything. Gas is up. Donald Trump wants to raise homes even more. I mean, houses cost millions. Like a normal house for a family is already super expensive. Just for Donald Trump mentioning that he wants to make them even more expensive. We know that Donald Trump owns a lot of real estate. Honestly, that could probably be why he's trying to raise everything. And technically, you got to keep in mind, these guys, they rig the whole game. They want to make as much money as possible. Donald Trump is pumping and dumping stocks left, right, and center, inflating the market just for him to make more money and his team to be even richer, which is honestly sad. There's a lot of homeless people in the America, and people are sadly suffering. Everything's expensive. Food's expensive, gas expensive. So,
yeah, like my brother mentioned, the administration is totally spending billions of dollars on completely useless stuff right now. As how is it that every corner street that they walk by, there's a McDonald's? And how is it that the USA over the past year has had 3 million people die of obesity, which isn't normal at all? It's a concern. It is. And they're not focused on that at all. They don't really care about America's health. You know it. You see a McDonald's every single street corner, a liquor store every single street corner. You're seeing people sleeping on the streets. More and more people are now struggling to pay their bills and sadly having to go live in the streets because they can't live anymore. Yeah. Like I mentioned in other videos, that this isn't really living anymore. It's survival. Yeah. It's you're surviving, trying to manage your money and try to save your last dollar. And these people have families, kids to feed. They have animals. They have their rent. And also, it's not just that. They want to go on vacation. They want to have the luxuries of going on activities, not just working and paying your rent and feeding your kids. That's not life. Life is about to have fun. And Donald Trump mentioned lots of times that he wants to make America the best place on earth, which I think currently it isn't, right? If you look at the safest place on earth, it clearly isn't the United States.
Yeah.
And if you look at the healthiest place on earth, it clearly isn't the United States. So we should be concerned on the useful stuff rather than the drone port, the ballroom, and what else? The reflective pool, the reflecting pool. I mean, who cares about dirty water when thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are sleeping in the streets?
Yeah.
And there's McDonald's every street corner, and gas is going up, groceries is going up, the stock market, there's a war, people are stressed, people are dying. 3 million people died of obesity, and we're more focused on a reflecting pool that the water's dirty.
Of course.
I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, Trump's team is really objectively trying to make Washington, D.C. look super fabulous, which is, I mean, Washington, D.C. is not like the main part of the world, to be honest. Like them trying to clean up the reflecting pool and them even stating that they want to build a drone port on top of the White House. Like what's going on? What's next? A golden statue of Donald Trump, and there's like a bronze destroyed Barack Obama, and Donald Trump's laughing at him. Like, what's going on? This whole administration seems like they're trying to win, but in fact, they're just losing. Sadly, Donald Trump started the war with Iran, and it didn't go to plan. Donald Trump, when he took over Venezuela, probably thought that they were going to take Iran the same way. Take their leader out and just get in there, take all their oil and drain it dry. But no, sadly, it's not working like that. And as we know, the Iran deal is looking a bit shaky right now. Ceasefire is not really going particularly well. And billions, basically $1 trillion was spent. The U.S. was currently spending $1 billion, to be more precise, $900 million a day on everything, pretty much. And the last 2 days, they were spending $200 million just on bombs.
I mean, if you were to compare Barack Obama's term to Donald Trump's term, you would probably argue that Barack Obama was more focused on the people's safety, economy, rather than bombing another state and the drone port, the ballroom, the reflecting pool, spending millions and billions of taxpayer money on useless stuff. You can argue that Barack Obama was more interested and focused on actually improving the health, the wellness. There was probably less homeless people in the streets, right? People were living better, right? If you were, you can argue that.
I mean, if you remember, there was also Obamacare, if I'm saying it right, Obamacare or something else in that name. But like, especially a lot of people in like all these states like Miami, Florida, or wherever else they are in the world, in America, they're spending so much in taxes just for healthcare to be super expensive. I mean, look, if you look at places like Canada, yes, they're paying high taxes, but at least they don't have to pay for a broken arm or for surgery in general. True. America, if you break, break a limb or something, it's going to cost you a few $1,000s.
Hey, if you break a limb, it's $10,000, but a value menu McDonald's is $8. That's the problem right there. They are great marketers in the USA. You can be walking down a street corner and you see the big value menu on the McDonald's, and that just convicts you to go inside, get unhealthy, right? That's what they want, right? Because they know that the medical costs It's crazy, right? We've seen it. We know how much it costs, and they're aware of that. They are. And it's very concerning and unprofessional of the whole administration side of it. And yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to keep in mind, Donald Trump is a literal billionaire. He does not care about people's expenses. He is viewing everyone as peons. Think about it. Donald Trump is if I'm not wrong, his net worth is like 5 point something billion. The average American that's making, I don't know, 30, 40, 50K a year is nothing compared to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in the Oval Office with his gold-plated wall, gold-plated desk. I mean, keep in mind, before the other administrations, Joe Biden's like Oval Office was nice, but Donald Trump just wanted everything gold-plated.
Yeah.
The walls are in gold. The pens are in gold.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, he should just make the front of the White House in gold pillars and change it to this super expensive quartz material. And like, come on, just make the Secret Service cars in gold.
He's out here trying to live like Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, and name it all. He's trying to live like an Abraham Lincoln all together, just golden walls around him, golden suits.
Yeah.
And if you look at Donald Trump, right, he's not healthy himself.
Of course.
Right? We're talking about all these fast food chains and liquor stores and homeless people in the streets, but how about the world leader showing a good influence to people, right? He eats pizza, crap, drinks Coca-Cola more than water, doesn't sleep, doesn't exercise.
Yeah.
What does that tell the people? Well, the world leader isn't healthy. So, right? Isn't that wouldn't that be a good step in a good direction, right? We're starting to get healthier. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Yeah,
he has RFK on his side. He's rich. He has the money. He lives in the White House, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
He could start sleeping better, eating better, drinking better. Oh my God. This guy Trump is literally not taking it seriously at all. He thinks he's going to live to 1,000 years old and just be able to eat pizza, burgers all day. And I mean, you see it. He probably eats a filet of fish for breakfast, a McDouble for dinner, and a Big Mac for supper with Coca-Colas and fries. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And he laughed in an interview mentioning that he works out 1 minute a day max. I mean, come on.
I mean, look, even that, he's gained 14 pounds since his last weigh-in a year ago, which, I mean, making it sound like if it's like some UFC standoff where they're going to weigh in for battle. But, you know, Donald Trump loves to boast online that he has a 30 on 30 cognitive score and that he's better than everybody else. He's acing tests against Biden and Brock and Bill Clinton. Like, honestly, it's getting to a point. The people are tired of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, sadly, this whole past term has caused anything but hell. I mean, sadly, the American people, it's going to take a while for the next president to even recover from this. Even if it's J.D. Vance or Kamala Harris or whoever else, it's going to take a toll on them to recover everything that Donald Trump has done. I mean, tariffs was probably the worst thing they've done in a while, and them starting a war was not intelligent at all.
I mean, this whole thing was a shit show, and if you made it this far, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Let's get to 1,000 followers. Make sure you hit that notification bell as we upload daily long form and short form videos. Head over to our other platforms. We upload on them if you want to check us out there. And this was T and Matt and the Berube Show. Thanks for tuning in as always. Leave us know your opinion down of all this in the comments below. Wherever you're watching this in the world, we pray for your safety. You matter. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next one.